Victoria Alonso has been a very controversial figure. She is the one who said the X-Men name was outdated and needed to be changed. She also admitted that companies believe they're leaving money on the table if they don't shove diversity into films, and now that the MCU has been proven to be a failure, she has left the company. I have a few different things to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon or supporter via YouTube memberships. So this was actually a pretty big shocker. Marvel Studios' Victoria Alonso, the president of physical post-production, VFX, and animation at the studio, has left. So this is a Hollywood Reporter article that I wanted to start with. Victoria Alonso, the longtime and high-profile Marvel Studios exec, whose time with the company dates back to the first Iron Man, has left the studio, multiple sources tell The Hollywood Reporter. The reasons for the exit are unclear, but she parted ways with Marvel on Friday, sources say. Now, I have had to talk about her quite a few times on this channel, and not for positive reasons. She has been promoted pretty high up in the company over the past couple of years, even though she has worked with them, as it says, since the first Iron Man. And while she has gained a name in the entertainment industry and at this company, it's not for completely positive reasons. It says that she has been with the company since earliest days of the MCU, establishing an enviable 17-year run in watching the studio grow from operating above a Mercedes-Benz dealership in Beverly Hills to being acquired by Disney, and during her tenure, the MCU became the highest grossing franchise in film history. Now, as you can see, the Hollywood Reporter here has nothing but good things to say about her. They talk about how she had this amazing run and this amazing career, but her past is definitely mired in controversy. It also says that she served as the executive producer on their subsequent releases and also worked on the Disney Plus TV series. In 2021, she was promoted to president, physical and post-production, visual effects, and animation production. Now, her departure does come in the shadow of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania's poor showings at the box office and among critics and fans, but she, again, has been with this company for many years and has been behind some of the largest failures for this company, particularly the MCU. She was one of the masterminds behind this push for, diversity and inclusivity, and also their focus on female characters. But she was also a major problem at the studio because, according to Discussing Films, she was reportedly singularly responsible for the toxic work environment within the VFX departments. She would have reportedly given work to teams she liked, but if you had pissed her off in any way, you're going to get frozen out, which, of course, lately there has been a lot of drama with Marvel's visual effects departments, primarily that the movies that are coming out, the VFX have been extremely poor, and we've heard that is because of crunch. They are told you have a very short deadline, you only have so much time to work on things, and movies have to be pushed out, and this is why some of the films that we have seen have been delayed 2, 3, even 4 times. Look at something like The Marvels. Okay, that is a movie that right now is reportedly suffering from massive visual effects problems because they just don't have enough people working on it, and they can't get all of the VFX done in time, so they have now had to delay the movie 4 whole times. Something like Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, it did come out after 1 delay, but at the same time, look at some of the effects in that. Look at MODOK. People were not happy. While yes, there were some moments where it was very visually stunning, most of it was just mediocre at best. And when you're looking at something like Marvel, you're expecting it to be top of the line production because it has been around for so long. We've had so many of these movies, and their goal is to top the previous release. And it seems, at least visually, that they're taking quite a few steps back. And like I mentioned, I have had to talk about her a lot on this channel. Let's go back to some of the most notable instances. This one was back from July 2022. The Mutants reported as title for MCU debut of the X-Men following Marvel Studios head of production Victoria Alonso's accusations that the team's name was outdated. Following the introduction of the shared universe's first official Homo Superior in the first season finale of Ms. Marvel's Disney Plus series, a new report has suggested that the upcoming MCU debut of both mutant kind and the X-Men will bear the title The Mutants, an interesting choice in light of the franchise executive producer Victoria's belief that the classic super team's name is outdated, which of course infuriated so many people because the X-Men name is notable. People know what you're talking about when you mention the X-Men, but for her to come in and say, well, it's outdated and we basically need to get with the times and need to rethink the name was absurd, and it did upset a lot of people. Maybe this will change now. Maybe behind the scenes they are going to rethink all of their future MCU plans, and they will reevaluate things like changing the name of the X-Men to the Mutants because it's seen as outdated. But she was one of the main people who pushed for this. You also had this back from November 2021. Marvel Studios president declares diversity and inclusion is not a political game for us. And of course, the lie detector had determined that that was a lie because to these companies, the only thing that matters at the end of the day is money and gaining sales and selling tickets to consumers. They don't actually care about representing people and being diverse. They just think that it is going to lead to more money, which is actually something that she had admitted in the past. She claimed that companies are leaving money on the table by not representing. At least she was honest about it, but it just shows that, yeah, that is all that they care about at the end of the day. And there are some people out there who will defend Marvel till the ends of the earth and say, no, they actually really care about us. No, they don't. As she even admitted, they're only really pushing for diversity and representation because they believe it can make them more money. But just being diverse and inclusive doesn't make money, and we have seen that time and time again. You have to represent properly. You have to, yes, represent all different types of people with different backgrounds, but you also need to give them respectful and interesting stories and character traits. You can't just go, oh, here's a type of person you don't typically see on TV every day and think that that is going to sell. Unfortunately, the MCU has been going in a pretty bad direction over the past few years. I used to really love the MCU. I loved Thor and Iron Man and all of these different great characters, but they have definitely stumbled over, I don't know, the past 4 years. Before that, they of course had some fails. Since then, they've had some successes. But in general, the MCU has been in a state of disaster, and now the EVP is gone from this company. Will there be major changes at Marvel? We don't really know at this point, but a lot of people are hoping that we are going to see a shift in content and mentality. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this and found it important and informative, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.